Hey guys, Brian and Aaron here from 5 to Go. We just spent the last couple months traveling around with a whole bunch of people.
New friends!
New friends, made a whole bunch of new friends, and we wanted to share with you guys why we think that traveling like that is the best way to travel.
Absolutely.
So in this episode, we're going to talk about how we had RV'd before, what we did over the summer, and how we set that up where we traveled with a lot of other people.
Yes.
And we're going to share some ways that you guys can find your own communities on the road to meet up with and become friends with.
Yay!
You guys ready?
Here we go.
We're in a beautiful little campground called Jetty Park in Florida, and the campground itself is actually quite loud right now.
Yes.
But the whole reason we came here is because the beach is like 50 yards
Right
that
there.
way. So let's go find somewhere pretty and shady
Ooh.
to talk about all this stuff.
Okay.
All right. So this is Florida in the middle of the summer,
Yes.
and it's the middle of the day, which means we could very well get a thunderstorm at any second.
At this moment. Like,
this very
I
moment.
think I can see rain.
Yes, there is rain there. I saw a couple lightning strikes. We're a bit north of it, and it's blue directly above us, so we'll see how this goes.
See that?
So our first trip around the country
Was lonely.
was very lonely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we met up with people. We met friends and family. We met up with campers randomly.
Yeah.
And other full-timers, weekenders. We met all sorts of people.
But we always like overlapped for one day or for
Yeah.
maybe 2 days, and you know, you're still trying to figure each other out and whether
Yep.
you all eat the same food or not.
Yeah.
And so we just didn't have a lot of time to get to know people.
Yeah.
Like face to face. Like you meet somebody and then like you become friends on Facebook and you just follow everybody's trips and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but you never have that time to just sit and build a community or build a friendship or whatever. So
Yeah, and there was no traveling with people either.
no, especially when we were going through the middle of nowhere. It would have
Yeah.
been so nice to have just had another set of adults or
Yeah.
an adult with us in case something happened.
Or some other kids for the kids to play with.
Right.
You know, because we a lot of times we would stop in the middle of the day for lunch at like a rest stop or some side road
Little
area.
picnic.
And it would be cool, you know, just to have people to play with
Yeah.
or to have adults to talk to. Because, you know, Aaron and I love each other and we talk to each other
Talk
all
to
the
each other
time.
all the time.
But we talk to each other all the time.
Yes, and after what, 17, 18 years of being together,
Uh-huh.
I know how you're going to answer questions.
Yeah, pretty
so,
much.
you know, new people are fun.
Yeah, so that first trip around the country, it was 18 months. We did all 48 states,
Mm-hmm.
and we met a ton of people, but there was not a single time that we saw the same people at two different campgrounds. We never traveled to a campground with anyone else. We kept missing all the rallies. We kept missing all the big events. Like we were either a couple weeks ahead or like a month behind. All of that inspired us to travel a little bit differently this time around and to really focus on meeting other people rather than the places that we wanted to go.
Right.
So this past few months over the summer, we did have a couple places that we wanted to get to that we weren't able to the first time around. But it was more about traveling with others and sharing those places with other people and building a community around it. So what we did is we just set up a page on our website and we mapped out our entire route, all of the stops, all of the dates, all of the events that we were doing, if we were doing any that required, you know, times and tickets.
Right.
And we just shared that with all of our Roadrunners. And our Roadrunners are what we call our patrons. I'm sure you've seen us talk about that before. And it ended up being 14 other families that came out and camped with us.
So awesome.
It was very cool.
Yep.
So I think some of my favorite memories from this summer are going to be the things we did with other people.
Oh, absolutely.
Just sitting around, or
Absolutely.
the travel day where we had to stop to avoid a massive storm. So we just had lunch and hung out and watched the Weather Channel in our rig with
And it
some
was
friends.
great. It was great.
It's stuff like that that I think is going to stick out more to most people because, you know, it's about community, it's about relationships, it's about experiences with other people.
Some of the families that joined us came with kids. Some came by themselves.
Yeah.
Some brought their grandchildren.
Yeah.
It was great. We had a huge, like, wide range of young people and not as young people, and you know, all
She's so
the things that,
diplomatic.
all the people in between. And so it was just really nice to have. When we had our largest group, we had a very diverse
Yeah,
group,
we did.
and it made a lot of fun for the potlucks that we did. So
Yeah, and it was a wide range of experience when it
Right.
comes to RVing too. So I'm sure we all learned things from each other. And one of my absolute favorite things about the way that this summer came together was traveling from campground to campground with other people.
Oh yeah, having somebody to like leave the campground with and show up at the campground together, and then you have
travel partners.
You have travel partners,
Yeah.
and if you encounter things on the road, whether it's traffic or an accident or something exciting that happens, you can share that when you get there. You're like, did you see the waterfall on the side when we were driving there? And instead of it just be like, hey, you saw that thing, right? Because we just drove by it together.
Yeah, and luckily none of us had any problems.
No.
But if we had had a flat tire or if something else had happened, you also have the the safety and security of other people that there with you. They can help out, either with extra muscle or just help watch the kids so you can fix something.
Right.
So there's that aspect of it too.
Or if you can't get into your kitchen because your slides are all closed, but we can fix you lunch.
That's right. Yeah, and we did do that. Yeah. And we also had a couple nights, I think over the summer, we spent 6 nights in Walmart parking lots.
Yes.
And 1 in a Cabela's. And the ones where we stopped with other people, there's also that added, sometimes when you roll into a Walmart, you always call ahead and you ask if you're allowed to be there. They'll tell you where to park.
Yeah. If you can, you go shopping.
Yeah, but if you're the only person there, sometimes that feels a little sketchy.
A little bit.
But when you roll in with like 2 other families and you kind of set up your own little bubble, it just seems nicer to do that with other people.
I agree.
And there's also, like we said, there's the stops where you make lunch and you hang out and the kids can go play, run around outside and get the wiggles out. Because if you're traveling for, 3, 4, 5 hours, kids are going to get a little bit stir crazy.
A little bit, me too.
So it's nice, to have them have other kids to go out and play with.
Be distracted
rather than just continuing to fight with each other just outside instead
You
of
mean
inside.
play with each other, right?
Yeah, play with each other outside instead of inside.
Right.
And actually, one of the families we traveled with, Tara rode with them.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Tara met their 12-year-old, they were like instant best friends.
Instant.
And they were riding together. Like we didn't see Tara for a couple weeks on like travel days.
That's
which
okay.
was okay.
It's all right.
We've decided to reposition for the final part of our video.
We did.
One really cool thing about this campground, and actually one of the reasons we chose it, is not only are we, 50 yards from the beach, but this is also the entrance to Port Canaveral, which is where all of the big cruise ships come in and out in this area in Central Florida. So later today, we're going to be able to walk out here and stand right by the water and watch 2 massive cruise ships just come right out of this little inlet here. Let's find a nice pretty angle here and finish talking to our friends here about traveling with friends. We do have a slight advantage now versus 4 years ago.
Yep.
Where we do have a YouTube channel, we have people that follow us, like we have all of that stuff, right? We have awesome viewers like you guys. So it's a little bit easier for us to find people to
say,
camp with.
Come join us.
But that does not mean it's hard to find people.
Right?
I think our timing was wrong. Our priority the first time around was
Get it done.
movement, because we had 2 dates that we had to hit. There was 1 date in the Southwest, and then we had a date we wanted to get back to Virginia for the holidays. So we were flying around the country.
Boobsin'. Yeah.
So now we realize that, having dates that you need to hit is good. That's part of life, right? That's fine.
Yep.
But everything in between, we're just going to change our priorities. And rather than have it be on trying to get to a destination as quick as possible just to see something, it's going to be more, let's share this experience with others.
How many people can we get to come with us to see this cool thing?
Yeah, so like we said earlier, if you follow people like us, or if you follow other people on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or wherever you follow people and they open their travels up to the community, we 100% recommend that you try and get in on that.
Yes.
Because it's really fun. It's great. And you'll meet other people that are also fans of those people.
And so you have that in common.
Yeah.
And you can share your favorite things.
So outside of following people or joining groups like our Discord server or becoming a Roadrunner or anything like that, there's also other groups that exist purely to get people together for camping.
Right.
So there's full-time families.
Yep, full-time families, which is mostly full-time travelers that have families. But then there's also little like offshoots from full-time families. So if you're interested in this, or you do homeschooling, or you make content on YouTube, there's like different groups that can help you do that. There's also like the if you join Escapees or the Escapers, which is the like working group kind of thing, they have convergences or rallies and stuff that you can go to. You can also, when you buy your RV or whatever, look at the manufacturer. Like Grand Design does rallies all the time where you can go and meet other Grand Design owners, and then they usually have people there that can fix stuff too, which is a really nice perk when you go to rallies.
Right.
But they usually do a lot of like get-togethers and meals together and dances, or you go paddleboarding together, or you go and do all kinds of different events together, so you get to learn about other people through activities, which is always nice. Yeah. And there's also the Family
FMCA. Family Motor Coach Association.
Thank you. The Family Motor Coach Association.
I don't believe you have to own a motorhome to join.
We'll check that though.
Yeah, I'm not positive about that. We did join the FMCA this past year since buying the Class A, but I don't think that's a prerequisite. There was nowhere in the sign-up did it say anything about that. So it's the FMCA. That is just another group that is purely about community. There's a magazine that goes out. They do rallies all the time. They do sponsored events. All sorts of stuff. So that's another group that you can join up with.
And they do, all of these groups do stuff across the country. So if you're not close to, where you think these people are like based out of, that doesn't matter. They do things all over the place. There's also groups that you can join. Like Facebook is really good for this, even if you don't like Facebook.
Facebook is hit or miss.
Facebook is good. Okay, I'm talking to the moms right now. So Facebook is really good to find like moms groups of people that are traveling in certain areas of the country. So if you know that you like to spend your winters in Florida, you can join Facebook groups that are people traveling Florida. And so you can find out where people are going to be at different campgrounds. If there's any like events for homeschooling going on, you can look on those sites as well.
The community that you're seeking out doesn't necessarily have to be other RVers too.
Well, and if all you want to do is RVing, you can just go to all the big shows, the big RV shows, and go around to all those. Like, you go to Hershey in September, and you go to Tampa in January, and then there's all kinds of other ones, and you can usually camp at those. So
yeah, I mean, I know the one at Tampa, they do dry camping, and they have a couple other options for that. That's not something we've done in the past, but we are seriously considering it for this coming January. So there are a lot of ways to meet up with other people. Whether it's joining one of our communities, like Discord or our Patreon or anything like that, that would be fantastic. But just any community, anyone that's out there, we highly recommend that instead of traveling for places, you find people to travel with, and then you can go to those places, when it works for everybody involved, right? It's so much fun traveling with other people. So all of that being said, if you want to join one of our communities, there is Discord, which is 5togo.com/Discord. There's about 2,000 people in there now.
It's the best one to join.
It really is. We're in there every day. There's
Brian's
people in there
every day.
all day. And we talk about all sorts of stuff. And there are some specific channels in there about camping, campgrounds, travel, RV life. If you become one of our Roadrunners,
you get a lot more things.
You get more things. You get access to all of our travels.
Right.
And you are free to join us at any time during those travels. We have a shared calendar.
Just put your name on that calendar.
Yeah, we have a shared calendar that everybody can see. All of our Roadrunners can see it. And they can add themselves to the calendar so you can see, even if we're not somewhere, you might be in a place where there are other Roadrunners. There's also private channels on Discord just for our Roadrunners. And there's one just about Florida, because a lot of Roadrunners are going to be here in Florida.
We have so many things exciting planned.
Yeah, so there's that. So if you want the easy mode, just hit the links down below.
Yep.
And you'll immediately be part of what we think is an awesome community. But there's all sorts of stuff out there. So go camp with other people.
Yes.
It's more fun. Travel with other people.
Do it.
It's way more fun. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas or any tips or tricks or any other communities that you think are great, I know we just touched on a couple, yes?
Or if you have traveled somewhere really cool with lots of people, or like with a friend or a family member or something like that, let us know in the comments down below, because maybe we need to plan a trip there too. So
yeah, what are cool places to go with groups of people?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know a lot of people are going to say the Albuquerque Balloon Festival, right? That's kind of the big RV one, right?
Yeah.
So we know about that one, but let us know about some of the lesser known ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the next episode, and hopefully we'll see some of you as Roadrunners quite soon too. Yay. Or at least on Discord. Just join us on Discord.
Join Discord.
It'll be fun.
Bye guys.